Morning from the allotment. Sunday the 15th of January. Very nice morning, a little cold. Thank the Lord the wind stopped, and also the rain. The rain's just been absolutely incessant. We've got a lot of standing water down here, and it's just been relentless. My second half of my plot very rarely sort of floods further than the bed that I've got on the left hand side, but it's stretched right down the middle of the path, right across to the other corner. So really we could do with some dry weather, just to try and get everything dried out. Anyway, I've been a bit preoccupied this weekend. I was supposed to crack on with my own greenhouse and try and get the blocks in place. Not being able to do that, I've been helping a neighbour over the road just put their greenhouse up. We had to stop really yesterday without putting the glass in, because I don't think we'd have got the glass in one go, and I'm a bit wary of part glazing a greenhouse in the winds that we've had. So that job stopped as well. So a bit frustrated this weekend because I'm not able to crack on as much as I wanted to. But what I'm going to do today is just have a quick chat with you in the greenhouse. I'll take you out and show you where I've got to with regards to the base of the greenhouse. I'm thinking of planting a couple of fruit trees in the two large planters that I've got at the entrance of the plot. So we'll have a look at that. What I've done this week is I've managed to get hold of some shallots, and I like to start things off in modular trays. It's just how I like to do things. I like to see them get a really good root, a good root system on them, and then I go on and I put them out, and I've done that for a number of years, and it works quite well. So by the time these shallots, which are Red Sun and Golden Gourmet, by the time these go out, they're probably shooting probably 2 or 3 inches, and then they go outside. So I got those Wilco specials, really good value at Wilco's. I also bought some Shallots, some first early Charlotte potatoes, which I'm chitting on the bench. I know that there's frost forecast over this next week or so, but I've always got fleece to hand, so I always fleece things over. So these are on the bench at the moment, just chitting, and it'll be a good, where are we now, probably a good 4 weeks, 5 weeks before I actually plant these. Now I'm in two minds. I'm thinking of putting these into containers, which is a good thing really, because you can put them in containers, and if the weather does get bad you can always keep them in the greenhouse, and then bob them back out when things sort of fare up. So they're Shallots. I'll be looking at my main crops. I don't bother with second earlies. I tend to just get my main crops in, and then they're there, and I can just leave those to it until it comes to harvesting time. These are my Elsa Craig onions. First time I've ever taken sown onions from seed, and germination rate's not too bad. I keep them covered over with a propagator lid in the greenhouse, obviously because it's cold, but I also have a lid that goes over that as well, so it's sort of almost like a double insulation. So that's where I am in the greenhouse at the moment. What I'll do now is I'll take you outside to have a look at the base of the greenhouse and show you where we've got. I've also moved 1 or 2 beds, as you saw me in the last video, take out some beds so that we could gain access to put the foundations in. I've sort of rearranged that as well, so I'll show you that. I'll show you that in a second. As you can see, I've managed to get the blocks for the base. I've not managed to cement these together just yet. As I say, I was quite delayed, but I've laid them out so you can see the actual size of what the greenhouse is going to be. So I'm quite pleased with that. Hopefully through the week this week, a couple of hours, I can get these all cemented and bedded up, ready to receive the greenhouse. I've also replaced the long bed there at the other side. That was one of the ones that I took out last week. That's now in place here. That's now in place here. And I've also moved one of the beds that was here across to there. I'll just take you a little bit closer so you can see. So there we go, that's the base all sort of set out. As you can see, just above it, I've moved that bed that I dug out to the other side, and I've also put another bed in there. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with that. Still a little bit to do, but hopefully next week I should make some good progress on it. Get it all cemented up and get the greenhouse across from the other side of the plot, and then it's going to be ready just in time for the sowing season. Okay, what I'll do now is I've also got these are the fruit trees. These are the fruit trees here. These are dwarf fruit trees. And I've got 2 large planters at the front of the allotment. As you can see where the arch is there, there's 2 planters on either side of it, quite large planters, so I'm thinking that's where they're going to go. So I'll crack on and try and get prepped and start that. Okay then, see you soon, bye. So as you can see, sun's glaring. As you can see, these are the planters that we're talking about. I'm thinking of putting the trees into here, and then looking to put some sort of support in here just to stop them rocking about in the wind. But first of all, I've got to get these cordylines out. I've done a little bit of prep. There's one in this side, and there's also one in this side, the other side of the pergola. So I've got to get those out first of all. Once I've done that, I'll come back to you. Now these are container grown fruit trees, and they'll live in this pot for a few years yet. Now I'm a little bit undecided as to whether I want these in here permanently, and what I don't want to do is take them out of the pot, put them in here, and then come next year or after this season and think, well no, I don't really want them there. So what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm going to leave them in the container, which as I said, they'll be okay in that. Bob them in the planter. Let's see how they go this season. If we're happy with it, then I can always look at next winter taking them out of the container and planting them there permanently. So I think that's quite a wise thing to do if you're unsure. So I'll crack on and bury this, and let's see where we get. Make sure that it's squared up nicely and sat in there, and let's just bury it over. What I've got here is I've got some leaf mould. Which is really, really good stuff, as you can see here. It just breaks down. Black gold, they call it, black gold. I'll get some of that in. To make sure that I don't plant it below where it was situated in the pot. It's grafting point, so just make sure that that is just the same as it was in the pot. That'll be suffice. Just a couple of more spades full around the back there. I think that doesn't look too bad. I've also got some bulbs from one of my suppliers. They were spring bulbs, and because they're coming to this time of year, we wanted rid of them. I know we're in January, but I'm going to stick them in here as well and see how they fare. And also, remember last week I dug up those Montbretia bulbs. They'll also go around the periphery. So I don't think it'll be a bad show. I think we'll get a decent show out of it. So I'll move on. I'll do the other one, and I'll show you the finished article. Okay. So there we go. That's the 2 fruit trees planted. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant the bulbs I mentioned. As I say, these are what I got out of the bed that I moved last week. So I think it'll look quite nice with the Montbretia coming through, and then I've got some daffodils and spring bulbs to come in there, and I may put, you know, an assortment of summer bulbs in there as well. I think that'll look quite good. As I say, I think the cordylines have had it. I don't think they're gonna be able to replant those. The bark and the trunk feels quite soft, so it seems a bit of moisture's got in there. And then obviously with the frost, I think that's absolutely done them. The only thing I've got to be very careful of on here is making sure that I keep the trees pruned, so they don't come any further out than the pergola, because as you can see, this is the track, and vehicles come down here all the time. But I don't think I'll really have a problem with that. So I'm going to crack on and get the bulbs done. The next thing I've got to tackle is the bed at the side. I've been putting it off for years. I need to get it done. So maybe doing these 2 planters might motivate me to get in amongst these grasses. And again, there's Montbretia down here. They just need thinning out. There's just too many of them. So with that, guys, I'll leave you. Hopefully next week we'll have some progress on the greenhouse. We'll certainly be getting the base completed, and then hopefully I can bring you some clips of us dismantling the shed, the greenhouse, and carrying it around, which, as I say, is quite a big site, and it's way over in that corner there. So literally you can see the length of this track. You've literally got to go right down to the bottom, all the way across, right into the far corner, and then get it back again to behind just the greenhouse that you can see there. So that's it for today. I hope you have a pleasant Sunday. I hope Friday comes quick for you without wishing your lives away. So until then, speak soon. Take care.